Okay, folks, so what I'm going to do here is talk to you guys about metadata. So in the import video, I basically went over how you apply metadata. That's the only reason I was able to do that is because I've already created a preset. So in the tool tabs, find the one that is basically the info icon. Click on that, you'll have metadata. I'm going to just close annotations for now, and I'm going to close keyword library. And I have keywords already, and I have my metadata applied because I've got this image. So when you click on an image, if you have your information applied, you'll see it. What I want to do is I'm going to click reset and reset. That's going to just remove my metadata, basically. We're going to add keywords, and we're going to save a preset so that we can then, when we go to import, choose those presets properly. So first things first, we're going to do keywords. So we have general keywords and we have specific keywords. So what you're going to do is add general keywords, and this should be, photography, your name, um, if you have a company name, stuff that applies to every single image at all times. So I put Algonquin Trevor Pearson photography. To do this, all you have to do is just type in the word. So I'm going to type in my name, hit enter, and then it will drop down here as a keyword. What I want you guys to do, and I'm just keep grabbing my preset here so I don't have to keep typing this, is basically do the same thing. So add these keywords. Then we're going to save it as a preset. So remember when I talked about icons, we have a help icon, apply all icon, reset icon, and preset icon, and then settings. The preset icon is the 3 lines. Click on this, and then you can save your user presets. This will ask you what attribute you want to save. There's only the one, is keywords. Click save. And then what my suggestion is here, anytime you see a dialog box like this, it's basically where it's asking you to save. Click on this arrow to the right of the input box. Never, always save your keywords presets and any presets, into the place it tells you to. So right now it needs to go into the keyword section. I'm going to call this last name first initial keywords. I'm just going to overwrite an existing one. So last name first initial keywords. Save. You won't have replaced because it's brand new for you. I'm just overwriting my old one. There we go. Now I have the ability to basically grab my preset so I don't have to type that out every time. Next, we're going to do the metadata. So I'm just going to collapse keywords for now. It will come down to metadata. So metadata is basically data about data. So there's different types. There's EXIF, there's IPTC, there's basic. There's a whole bunch of different types of data you guys can look at. So it goes from file information, so dimensions, file type, when it was created, to vendor specific, so what lens I used, what the lens type was I on single shot drive mode, so on and so forth. So let's just start closing these down. We have the camera data, the camera I used. There's my exposure data, so that was ISO 400, 250th of a second, f16, and a whole bunch of other information. There's a lot of information inside of a file. It's quite insane. But what we want to do is ultimately have a preset like this. So we want to have our name, our job title, and so on and so forth. So for you guys, put your name, and I'm just going to make this window wider. Oh, I guess I can't. Job title, I would put for you guys student photographer. Put your address. Why didn't that pop up? Oh, it's just taking its time. Address. So I'm putting the college address. You can put your address. If you don't want to put your street address, that's fine. But put the city, province, and if you don't want to put your coastal, that's fine too. Put your country. You do not have to put your phone number. I would recommend putting your email. And if you have a website, put your website here. We don't need IPTC content or image or Getty images, but we want status. So these are the 2 main fields we're going to be looking at right now. Here, what we want is basically copyright notice. So we're going to put copyright notice and your name here. So the copyright symbol on the Mac is Command G, or I'm sorry, it is Option G. That'll give me the copyright symbol. You want your full name here, and you want the year. This tells people that this image is copyrighted to your name for this year. All right, folks, so for rights usage terms, the next thing we're going to do is basically look at these. So this is Creative Commons license. We talked about this when using Behance. But what we're going to use is attribution, non-commercial, no derivative. So what this means is attribution. All CC licenses require that others who use your work in any way must give you credit. So you're selling client files to a client. They're probably buying them because they want to display them somewhere. So they're going to want to do this. So you're giving them the ability to do that, but they have to give you credit for it. Non-commercial, basically it means others cannot distribute, display, perform your images. So they can't sell your images, they can't display them, they can't make money from them without your permission. So I mean, typically you're going to sell something to a client and they're doing it so they can directly or indirectly make money off it. They just need your permission to do that. So if you're selling it to, let's say, a client as a headshot and they throw it up in their business website and the business website's generating money, that's fine. But they then can't go and then take your headshot and say, hey, look at me, now I'm a photographer, and now I'm going to start creating headshots. So, that just refers back to a contract. And finally, no derivatives. It just means people can't modify your work. They can't take your image and then change it and make it look terrible. So we're going to take that information and we're going to put it into rights usage terms, attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives. Okay? There you go, folks. That's what we're going to do for our metadata presets. And then finally, we're going to save the presets. So preset icon up here, and we are going to basically save user preset. Now, this is very important, folks. Be very sure what you're clicking here. And just so you guys know, if you leave this like in a typable state, it won't save. So make sure you've unselected that. Go back to save presets. Make sure you do not, and I repeat, do not have rating selected. If you had a rating here, it'll apply to everything and it'll mess up your selections. Keywords, creator, so on and so forth. Oh, that's nice. The keywords is now included. That's different. Yeah, creator job title. I'm going to turn it off actually for keywords because we apply that in a different way. Creator job title, address, city, all the things you've put in. And then finally down here, copyright notice, usage terms. Click save. We're going to call this copyright symbol again, so option G, your name and the year. And we'll click save. I'm going to replace my old one. You guys won't have to replace. And you're good to go. Now you have metadata. So now on an image in your keywords, you guys can apply your preset. So this image has metadata. I know this because I've clicked on it and it has metadata. This one does not. What I'm going to do is basically apply my metadata. Before that, I'm just going to erase all the metadata though. And we're going to yes and yes. So what I've done is just taken the metadata off all my images. Don't worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and apply my metadata preset for my keywords and then apply my metadata preset for my metadata. And I should change that to, but whatever. What we'll do from there is apply it to the rest of my images. So this image now has it, the rest don't. Again, I know this by clicking on all the images. Here's how we apply all. It's very easy. Command A to select all the images in my browser. I know they're all selected because they'll show up here in the content area as long as I have this button on. Okay? It's super simple. Make sure that you can see metadata on the first image. So if I do this, make sure you can see the metadata. And what you're going to do is holding down shift, you're going to click on this button. It's 2 arrows. It basically applies all. Now if I click here, that image has metadata, this image has metadata, everything has metadata, which is pretty sweet. And we're going to do the same thing for keywords. There you go. Everything has keywords. So once again, folks, we'll just run through that one more time. We'll reset all my images. No, that won't work. Reset. Reset. So what you're going to do is, and this is only if you guys didn't import. This is after the fact. So if you guys go to your first image, apply your presets, select all, hold down shift, apply all, and apply all. Everything has your metadata information. That easy. When you import, now you'll be able to choose your presets from your styles. There you go, guys. That is metadata.